And in regards to the scoring, I had it 3-2 for Shevchenko. I did not have any 10-8 rounds anywhere. And Cody just put a note in the chat. Out of about 1,400 cards, 1.4% have a 10-8 scorecard. I don't know if I'm interpreting that correctly, but not to say that just because that is the case that there should be a 10-8 in some fight, but they are rare, right? They're rare for a reason because you don't see that kind of a mismatch over the course of a round too often. And again, if let's go back to the Israel Adesanya fight. I would have had a much easier time if someone said, hey, Strickland won that first round 10-8 than I would with round 5. Even that would be a little bit of a stretch in some ways, but the fact that they had a 10-8 round in round 5 it's just very, very confusing, very frustrating for me.
So the scoring criteria, we know it to be flawed. We know the judges don't have nearly as many tools as referees and commentators. But because we don't have half points, judges have to be more liberal, handing out these 10-8s to differentiate between 10-9 rounds. Now, that doesn't mean they do things that fly in the face of the criteria to do so, right? It's very simple when you're trying to determine a 10-8 round. It's dominance, duration, damage. And if you start with dominance, Kenny, in round 5, it was not a dominant round for Alexa Grasso. So I'm not even going to get to duration and damage. Is that okay?
Oh, 100. No, yeah. 100%. I think that's accurate. And even the shots that she was throwing, I'm getting really excited. Even the shots that Grasso was throwing from mount largely were being deflected by the arms of Shevchenko in those. If you go back and look, a lot of those shots are skimming off the arm of Shevchenko. So these aren't heavy shots that are landing, that are rocking Shevchenko and almost putting her out. Like if that was the case and she's like, her head's bouncing off the canvas, eyes kind of going in and out, looks like she's not responding well, I would say maybe. But not even that, John. And I think you put it beautifully and simply. Absolutely. There is no, high duration of dominance or any of that. So I don't know. It's confusing.
I love Alexa Grasso. I really do. I have no problem with her still being the champion in a close fight. I hope they run this one back. Francisco Grasso is my coach of the year. I've determined that on September 18th. But I do think that Valentina Shevchenko got a shit done in this fight that she is not being given credit for, even in that 5th round. And I'm not going to waste too much of our time here today arguing a 10-9 Shevchenko in round 5, because I certainly had round 5 for Alexa Grasso. But everything was heightened by everything that was going on in that building, and that was the 5th minute of the fight, and Mike Bell leaned way too much into all of that. I mean, Valentina Shevchenko landed some very significant shots of her own in this 5th round, including a big right hook late. She caused further damage to a cut that she opened up in the 4th round that maybe some people don't want to give her credit for. So I'm certainly not going to waste my breath arguing on either side of round 4. It was close. I thought watching it live that it was a clear Shevchenko round. I understand if people want to be on the Grasso side there, but this 10-8 KenFlo, right? Yeah. Even in a close fight is indefensible. And for those people out there that argue that John McCarthy and others, right, that there are only 8 to 10 elite judges in the world and Mike Bell is one of them. Well, give me some non-elite judges. Page and all the fucking non-elite judges out there. Give me all the pretty good judges and let's go 5 wide for the judges. Put them in a back room without any fucking noise, right? Give me 5 wide on the judges. And I honestly think UFC President Dana White and Hunter Campbell are about the only people that can affect change when it comes to this. And I'm not, publicly asking for my bosses to make this happen as much as maybe I am doing exactly that. But Kenny, at this point, right, short of half points, which is just seems like such an impossibility to get long-term effect, long-term change with the rules. I just think that there's just got to be a way to just get more judges and to try to figure out a way to lessen the margin for error and just go 5 wide as soon as humanly possible for the sake of the fighters.
Yeah, I would hope that would help solve some issues, but as we know, sometimes introducing these factors can sometimes make it more complicated. I don't know. Hopefully that is a solution. I think more than anything else, though, it's when I'm looking at this fight and I see rounds 1, 3, and 4 pretty clearly for Shevchenko, and rounds 2 and 5 pretty clearly for Grasso. But those are all 10-9 rounds. You look at the consistency of how it is. So to me, the 10-8 round almost seemed like a makeup call in some ways. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not trying to levy anything against Mr. Bell here, but I don't know. It was just odd. It was odd because it was completely unwarranted. There's no consistency. And I guess my other question, John, is when you guys are talking about how judges are encouraged to look for 10-8 rounds, I guess more liberally. Is that
so
correct?
There was a time.
Sorry, go ahead.
And we talked to Sean Sheehan about this. There was a time probably 2 years ago where you saw 10-8s being handed out more liberally. And then for whatever reason, there was a pullback on that, unfortunately, right? This wouldn't even qualify, though, in that time, right? Yeah. 2 years ago when we were handing 10-8s out liberally. This is a really historically awful singular round card. And I don't even know. I'm really speechless, right? I'm really truly speechless because I got nothing.
Yeah, no, John, and this is kind of what bugs me. I think about, certain bad luck or certain things that happen to me before a fight, during a fight, whatever. But this one, if I'm Valentina Shevchenko, this one hurts, man. I mean, there were a few fights where I literally did not sleep and I just kind of replay the fight in my head over and over again and just try to figure out what the heck happened, or just, I don't know. That's got to be one of the ones for Shevchenko where I wouldn't be able to sleep for a long time over that one because she did everything right. Yeah, there were a couple mistakes here and there, and kudos goes out to Grasso for fighting her ass off and fighting an amazing fight on her own. But I don't know, man. And then I hear some fans like, well, you need to, the old, you need to take it. You need to beat the champ convincingly. Shut up. That is not the way that works. Stop repeating some old boxing thing that commentators said from 30, 40 years ago. Okay? That is not the way it works. If you win more rounds than the other person, that's it. They win. Over.
Can you actually believe that there was a time in boxing when I was like, hey, close round, and I guess I'll just give it to the champ?
Yeah, we'll just give it to the champ.
That is insane. Yeah.
Usain Bolt he only won by 0.01. Let's just call it a draw. Let's just say the other guy did really well because it was super close and, like the other person was the champ. So I don't know. It's so silly.
So earlier in the night, Josephine Knutson beat Marnik Man badly. Mike Bell gave every round a 10-8, right? So he is one of the more liberal 10-8 users out there. And that to me is a positive thing because this scoring system doesn't give you a great point of differentiation when it comes to the 10-9 round. So I like that historically he's doing that. But in a title fight, right, you can't have a makeup call here. I've even oftentimes said, man, it kind of would be nice if they could score the fight in totality, right? You don't want them bailing themselves out with a draw in this situation. But yeah, maybe in retrospect, he thought, oh man, I don't know. I gave Shevchenko that fourth round, but he kept waffling on that. And then for some reason, I don't know if it was the crowd or what, and I will say too, Dominic Cruz really is right. I feel like if you're a referee or a judge, man, you really gotta know the grappling. You really have to know the grappling.
Yes, no question about it, man. And I think that sometimes we see certain positions and we go, well, she took her back. The other one was mounted, or it's the same thing, right? No, it's not. Not all submission attempts are created equal, not even close. And I think that is a very important distinction there, John. Absolutely.
Cody just wrote, they also have to know the striking, the difference of a hard headshot and a blocked headshot. Yes, but for commentators, I can attest with the striking. It goes so quickly. You try to watch both fighters. You try to pay off strikes on both sides. Sometimes that even can be inexact, whereas the choke is more definable, that it's not tight or it is. And you got all this nonsense. You got 19,000 Mexicans who believe that Alexa Grasso is about to choke out Valentina. And then DC aptly says you can't see the lock, right? Nor can 18.5 of those 19,000.
Right.
So,
And it's interesting because if you are in a highly biased crowd, right, and you have almost submission, which isn't very tight, and the crowd goes nuts, and you have Shevchenko with a very tight submission and the crowd is completely silent, that could absolutely influence things. Because
yeah.
you think there's something more going on than there actually is. Now, again, there's a ton of factors involved, and this is not an easy job. Don't get me wrong, right? But as far as consistency of how we've been looking at 10-8 rounds, how they've been scored traditionally, and even over the course of this actual fight, it's just not a 10-8 round.
Yeah.
What's that?